If you recall from my recent live stream, Richard Taylor decided that the recent death of a boy named KJ in Birmingham, Alabama, by being left in a hot car was the result of racial indifference toward black children.
Because once again, he's a 3-year-old black child. And once again, I don't know the identity, the racial makeup of these of the foster family or the transporter. But, we've seen throughout history that, black children are, not as valued as other children.
He went on to play the race card.
If their identity is not released, and I'll come back and correct this if I am wrong, but if not, I will just automatically assume that this person may have been a white person. Because
I said at the time that there was a strong chance the social worker involved was black and that he could end up eating his words. I mean, it's Birmingham. Well, we finally know the identity of the social worker, and guess what? Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
Of course, I would love to play a video of Richard acknowledging that the social worker was black, but Richard doesn't seem terribly interested in KJ's plight now that the race of the social worker has come to light. Gee, I wonder how much he really fretted over KJ's death. However, Introvert Rockstar has commented on it. I mean, he badly wanted the social worker to be white. That would fit into his "whites are the devil" shtick. But the social worker was black. What to do? What to do? Well, Introvert Rockstar thought it over as best as he could and devised a clever plan B. Blame Whitey anyway. So let's get the ball rolling.
This child, we hold racist Caucasian people accountable, because if we don't, who will? And before we start this video, if you don't like black people, black issues, black talks, get this.
Sidetracked and stopped off and got something to eat. And when I came out, instead of going to the left to the daycare because I got called and said I didn't have a case, and I instantly said in my head, well, I'm done for the day and go home.
Man, you love my son.
Instead of going to the daycare, I came home. And I didn't know he was in, I forgot he was back there. I am so sorry.
Really? Don't you?
Baby, you got us sick over here. We can't breathe. You left a 3-year-old in a car. He couldn't defend himself. You ain't tried. You supposed to look in your back seat when you knew that it was a child with you from the get-go. You're not right. The Lord not gonna bless you, and there's nothing that you can call and say to make him feel better. That's wrong.
I'm not trying to make him feel better. I'm not. That's
You
nothing I
need to
can
go
say
turn
to
yourself
make him
into the
feel
county
better.
jail because
I'm
you
so
killed his
sorry.
baby.
Sorry, sorry, don't even express.
You killed his baby. That's
There's something odd about this telephone exchange. This appears to be the boy's aunt. She says, "You killed his baby," but doesn't mention the mother. And during the press conference, the mother wasn't there. This baby was taken away from his family by the court system. Now the father didn't exactly come across as a pillar of the community. But I'm starting to think that if we ever saw the mother, we'd know why KJ wasn't living at home. At a press conference held by the family attorney, neither the father nor mother bothered to show up. Here's the explanation.
The mother and the father, they have just not been able to even talk about this. They haven't slept since this happened. They haven't eaten since this happened.
But here's the father the day after KJ's death.
Small, brilliant, bright little child. I'm talking about. When I say yeah, respectful.
This is how Katorius Starks Sr. remembers his 3-year-old son. Katorius Starks Jr. was found dead hours after being left in a hot car.
I know in between 11:30 and 12 o'clock, I say 12:15, he should have been back at the daycare.
He didn't seem all too choked up then, but now he's too distraught to speak? And by the way, the press conference was held over a week after the boy died, so not sleeping or eating over that period, that's pretty impressive.
I'm telling you, you killed his baby. It's nothing that you can say to make him feel better. Every time he went to a visit, you rushed him. You wouldn't even let him have a decent time with his baby. Every time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, That you rushing the process, but you done left a baby in the car for 5-6 hours. That don't make any sense, ma'am.
I'm truly. I'm sorry is not even enough to express how bad I feel. I'm so sorry for your family. I'm so sorry.
And you already know, on this channel, we hold racist Caucasian people accountable, because if we don't, who will?
So this is Whitey's fault. Both parents were black, and the lady who left the kid in the car is black. And we'll find out that the judge who took the baby away from the real parents was also black. But it's Whitey's fault.
And before we start this video, if you don't like black people, black issues, black talks, get to stepping. The number of black children who have died under the care of Alabama's Department of Human Resources, DHR, is not publicly available. However, data on infant mortality rates in Alabama indicates that black infants have a higher mortality rate compared to white infants. In 2022, the infant mortality rate for black infants was 12.4 per 1,000 live births, while for white infants, it was 4.3 per 1,000.
Yes, and if you control for poverty, the numbers come out about the same. This has been studied many, many times. In fact, one mortality study in 2020 claimed that black babies were twice as likely to live if placed under the care of a black doctor than a white one. And who was the biggest proponent of this study? Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown. She actually cited it in an affirmative action case. The amicus brief filed by the Association of American Medical Colleges even read, "For high-risk black newborns, having a black physician is tantamount to a miracle drug. It more than doubles the likelihood that the baby will live." Later, they discovered that the lead author, Brad Greenwood, buried data that completely negated his conclusions. It's a pretty well-known case of scientific malpractice.
During the period of 2020 through 2022, black infants were about twice as likely to die before their first birthday compared to white infants. Make that make sense. And Alabama is the same Alabama from 1823. Nothing has changed. Tell me I'm lying. And this woman, Keila Stanford, she says she was sorry. She's right. A sorry ass person. How you leave a 3-year-old in a car to die for 5 whole hours, and you a social worker? And it really broke my heart. And I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure you went into a deep state of mourning over KJ's death. Give me a break.
I don't care if she's a black person. You have a lot of black social workers, not all of them. You have a lot of black social workers that work for the state, and they are
gainfully employed. I mean, unlike you, those raccoons have jobs. Let me ask, who would you rather hire to perform a complex task? Introvert rock star or one of those raccoons? I mean, you place introvert rock star in a room with those coons and they'll be trying to teach him algebra and failing. I'm being serious. There's this challenge they give animals to test their intelligence. There's a treat floating on top of the water inside a glass jar, and the animal has to devise a clever way to get the treat. Only 3 animals in the animal kingdom have managed to pass the challenge, and the raccoon is one of them. I'm pretty certain introvert rockstar would end up having to smash the glass on a rock. And Richard Taylor would be standing beside him taking notes.
They always kissing ass, and they always doing the dirty works of racist Caucasians just to maintain a lifestyle. But
yeah, and a mighty Saks Fifth Avenue lifestyle, I'm sure it was, being paid to provide social services for foster kids. And at least they work. What do you do all day? The last time I looked, stoking the fires of racial hatred in front of a green screen isn't terribly productive. And yes, I have a full-time job. This is just a hobby.
But the rabbit hole gets deeper. Run the tape.
823 Virgo Queen. This is Judge Lorraine Williams Pringle. And she is the judge that signed the papers to take baby KJ away from his parents.
Well, someone had to do it. Might as well be her. Who in here thinks that this judge loves to sit and listen to 2 crackheads arguing over child custody?
The company that the CPS worker worked for is called Covenant Services Incorporation. They are employed by the state as well. The judge, along with this company, they need to be investigated because they are doing some shady stuff. They are getting money for this.
Well, Covenant is not providing services for free, so this lady has the scoop on Covenant. Covenant tried to hide the fact that they weren't a charity, but this lady was too smart for them. As for the judge, who would pay her and why?
It's a whole lot more going on than just trying to make sure that children are safe. It's a whole lot more than that going on. So, yep, this is the judge that signed the papers to take baby KJ away from his family.
And the judge is black, which makes her decision Whitey's fault. You just wait.
And he ended up passing away in a hot car because the CPS worker went home because she was so happy that she didn't have any more cases for the day. She took this baby to her home when he was supposed to be back at daycare. And she left him in that hot car. And he passed away. Y'all, please pray for this baby's soul. Pray for his family. Pray for his parents, his grandparents, people that loved him.
Oh, really? The parents loved him? They weren't even taking care of him. They gave him over to somebody else. The last time I looked, you don't do that if you love your kids.
Because they're going to need it.
So before I read this, y'all know me, I had to do my research on this Judge Pringle lady because she's the reason why Clitoris was taken away from his mother. Check this out. Judge Pringle is a member of the Alabama State Board of Nursing, Alabama State Bar Association, Bessemer Bar Association, Metropolitan Professional Women's Association, Vice Chair of Mediation Dispute Resolution Board for the state of Alabama, and a member of the Theta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc. Make sense. And I keep telling y'all about these sorority people. To keep a certain job, they go kiss ass. To make a certain amount, they go kiss ass. To live a certain lifestyle, to maintain a certain lifestyle, they go do whatever master tells them, because you have to realize something. All skin folk ain't kin folk. I told y'all the game is cold.
So this is coded language. He's saying that she placed the kid in foster care because she was kissing Whitey's butt. That even though she was black, she was really white because she willingly joined this white institution called the justice system. And I bet she was even paid. You see, a truly black community wouldn't take KJ from his parents, no matter how dangerous his living conditions. They have a legal principle called unicornus magicus. It's a ceremonial gavel that the judge waves that just makes the problem go away.
The child was then left in the back seat at the worker's residence for more than 5 hours before they called 911. Stark's aunt told the New York Times that he was left in the car from about 12:30 p.m. to about 5:30 p.m. According to the National Weather Service, temperatures were in the 90s on Tuesday afternoon in the Birmingham area with a feels-like temperature of 103 degrees. Make that make sense.
Are you unfamiliar with the principle of hot? Do you need a lesson in thermodynamics?
So you telling me the daycare waited till 5:30 to contact this social worker about Clitoris? I mean, daycares usually close around 5:30. So why they waited this long? And I keep telling y'all, all these people on the same team, the daycare, the news outlets. I mean, the news outlets, they never mentioned her name. All they said was social worker. They never said Keila Stanford. They never showed her picture. None of the articles never say her name. I had to go on Facebook to find her face. I had to go on Facebook to find her name. I had to go on TikTok to find more information.
Which means it probably wasn't Keila Stanford after all. And your ears didn't deceive you. He's here telling us that his source for information is TikTok.
I told y'all these news outlets, they crooked. They not go announce her name because, like I say, she worked for the state. And a lot of black people, not all of them, a lot of them, they are. And they always kissing the ass. They always doing whatever master tells them to do. So in my opinion, her leaving that goddamn child in the backseat of that car to die, it wasn't a mistake. Tell me I'm lying.
You're lying. There, I told you. You know she didn't do this on purpose. But you're going to say that she did because you're playing to the crowd. You know that's what your audience wants to hear, wants to believe. I mean, no one could be so stupid. Well, okay.
So then I said, wait, let me look up the company she worked for, and the rabbit hole gets even deeper. Check this out. The company is called Covenant Service, Inc.
Oh, wow. That's a deep rabbit hole you got there. So deep.
They are down to 1.7 stars. And let's read a review. Alicia White said the company is not trustworthy with your loved ones. Their worker horrifically left a 3-year-old boy in the car, causing death on him.
Wait, you're getting the lowdown on the company from a review written by someone responding to the tragedy? Of what possible use is this?
The baby was left in the car for 5 hours in 100 degrees Alabama weather with the windows rolled up and the car not running.
Yeah, we know.
This company is cruel and sickening to have transporters who claim they forgot the baby was in the car. This company needs to be shut down. Make that make sense. And I have to say it, these people ain't shit. And you see how they use the word covenant just to manipulate people.
Dude, covenant simply means agreement. Have you ever read an HOA covenant? O ye dim one? They were probably talking about the Ark of the Covenant on TikTok and butchering the story.
They said Covenant Service Inc. They use that word because it's like a religious type word. They use that to manipulate people. I'm going to tell y'all right now, they don't give a damn about your kids. It's all about the money. That company been in business for 20 years. And just imagine how many families they broke up on purpose.
Dude, do you not know what this company does? They provide basic tutoring, parenting classes, transportation, and housekeeping for disadvantaged families. And they have a contract with the state. They don't break up families. They are called in to help the state provide services for kids that have already been placed in foster care. That doesn't mean that something can't go wrong. And here, they place the kid in the care of someone who had a simple job, drive the kid from point A to point B, and she blew it. How much of this is Covenant's fault? I don't know. The state will investigate.
How many families they destroyed on purpose. Just imagine how many kids died under their care on purpose. I'm tired of this shit. Make it make sense.
Yeah, I'm sure this company is all about killing kids on purpose. That's what they do. Because killing one's clients is always a good business model.
And before I go, I have to say this. This is not the first time this happened in Alabama. Back in 2022, another social worker in Alabama left an 8-year-old child in the car to die.
Really? Gee, it says here that they didn't provide the required prescription medicine for him. So are you going to ask us if you're lying? Because you are. And I read up on that case. They couldn't sue the Alabama Department of Human Resources because it gave itself sovereign immunity. So they instead bankrupted the social worker and the foster parents. And by the way, if you want to be a foster parent and you take in a kid who needs life-saving medicine, you're nuts. Learn from the mistakes of others.
And now they have to pay them $15 million. So what the hell is going on in Alabama? And Keila Stanford and Judge Pringle, y'all not right. Y'all really need to be arrested.
Arrest the judge? On what grounds? Do you think that kid was in front of a judge because his parents were the Cleavers? Hell, the Bundys probably took far better care of their kids than KJ's parents. In fact, I'm certain of it.
And Keila Stanford, you not sorry because every visit baby Katoris had with his father, you rushed him. You never cared about that kid. So I feel like in my heart, you left him in that car to die on purpose. No ifs and buts about it.
Yeah, there are plenty of ifs and buts about it. That woman didn't do this on purpose. Come on. Sorry, KJ. You ended up born to two worthless parents. The state tried to save you from them, but you ended up in the backseat of a hot car anyway. I guess some are just unlucky. And now you're a pawn in a chess game. Well, checkers. I don't think Introvert Rockstar or Richard Taylor have the aptitude for chess. The raccoons probably do. I'm serious. They keep turning on my outdoor faucets, so I figured I was just tightening them down. And the thought crossed my mind that they would probably go digging around in my garage for a pipe wrench. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.